And just like many of you, when I ran for the office the first time, you don't know what you don't know. And what I have really pushed for during my time is really trying to be as accountable to the public as we can, because what you find out once you get in is that you can't talk about a lot of things because the state and federal government don't allow you to talk about a lot of things. But I like to answer questions from the public to the extent that we're allowed to by law, and I like accountability. And one of the things that I really, in serving another 3 years, what I'm seeking to do is really help New Caney ISD keep up with the growth in our community. We are, I'll say, kind of on the bubble from a growth perspective, meaning the district keeping up with facilities and so forth for our students. If the growth projections for houses on the ground meet what we're hearing over the next 2 to 3 years, if the economy holds strong, it's a lot. And we're really challenged because, as many of you may not know, New Caney ISD is a member of something called the Fast Growth Coalition of School Districts in the state of Texas, meaning that we are one of the fastest growing school districts in the state of Texas. But on top of that, we have one of the most socioeconomically poor tax bases, okay? So it creates a challenge when you have laws and responsibilities to meet for students with increased facility needs, increased educational needs, but your tax base is kind of hanging out down here, right? One of the biggest questions I get, and I don't want to take a lot of the time, but is why are our school taxes so high? You know, New Caney ISD took our school tax rate to max. That's been years ago, even before I got on the board. But I want to tell you, as the general public, since you don't know what you don't know, the wisdom of the board that did that, when they did it, even though I don't like paying taxes any more than the next guy, it's probably one of the best things they ever decided to do, coming from a guy with a financial background who brings that to the table on the board. Because had that not happened, our students would really be behind the curve. Our district would be behind the curve in being able to keep up with the growth that we're experiencing in our county, or at least in our side of the county especially. So I would just say economic responsibility, accountability, growth, keeping up with the growth, making wise decisions in that regard. And then lastly, I think our teachers are really put under the gun with the state, and in my personal opinion, this whole A through F rating system that they just changed through again, it really keeps teachers behind the 8 ball because they're constantly changing the measuring rod as to how students perform, okay? That's got to become more consistent, and so we're working with our local and state officials to try to make sure that Texas does the right thing for our kids and our teachers. So I appreciate your support. Come November, on the ballot, position 4, New Caney ISD. Thank you. Thank you. Man, you don't want to catch that. Thank you.
Who's next?
All right, my name is Jonathan Frickerel. I'm running for the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District, Precinct 4. Y'all probably don't even know what that is. So this will be the first election where the board will be comprised of elected members instead of appointed members. So no longer will you have members on that board that are appointed by bureaucrats from Austin. It'll be elected by the people of Montgomery County. So I don't know if you know what the Groundwater Conservation District does, but they don't really regulate the groundwater. They keep tabs on how much water is coming out of the groundwater, and right now they have forced people who pump more than 10 million gallons a year to reduce their pumpage by 30% and have required them to purchase surface water from the SJRA. They did not give them any other option to purchase water from anybody else. They can purchase water from other people, but that does not count towards their 30% reduction. So basically, they've been held hostage to purchase water from SJRA. And if you're a member of a MUD or water utility, there should be a fee on your bill for Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District or SJRA fee. And my bill, that accounts for almost half of my bill. And so basically, we are paying to pay for the surface water treatment plant at Lake Conroe. So I don't think that is fair. I think private enterprise should be able to go buy their water from who they want to, or they should be able to extract it from the ground. I mean, the Texas Supreme Court has ruled that the groundwater underneath your property is your private property right, and you should be able to do with it as you see fit. You shouldn't have bureaucrats telling you that you cannot remove water from beneath your property. And
makes sense.
That's how I feel about it.
Right.
So if you support private property rights and doing away with fees on your water bill, then I'm the man to vote for.
What's your name again?
My first name is Jonathan, last name is Prickryl. I'll spell it for you. It's P-R-Y-K-R-Y-L. There's no vowels.
It's not hard to forget.
So,
You're talking about the aquifer, right?
yes, the aquifer beneath.
Right.
So the Chico, the Evangeline, and the Jasper, and also the Catahoula. But those make up the actual the Gulf Coast aquifer system.
From what I understand, they're proposing that they do like 100 times more extraction from the Jasper aquifer than they've been doing. What's that going to do with the elevation of the surrounding areas?
I don't know if they're going to start in Montgomery County. I know there's a study for Harris County, but the further south you go in the Jasper aquifer, further into Galveston and Harris counties, the water becomes more brackish. So it's more.
I know Kingwood sits on the Jasper aquifer. In the last 25 years, Kingwood has actually sunk about 2 inches because of and it takes a long time for those aquifers to replenish themselves. Are you guys taking that into account?
There's disputed science on that. The hydrologist that I've talked to kind of disputes the hydrology that the Lone Star groundwater system is using. There has been subsidence in the very far southeastern part of Montgomery County, and it's been no more than 3 feet. So, and the subsidence in Harris and Galveston County, like in the middle of Harris County, is closer to like 12 to 13 feet. So, subsidence has not really impacted Montgomery County.
Are you saying you support the extraction of the extra water from the aquifers?
Well, I support changing the 64,000 acre foot rule that's currently in place, increasing it.
Okay.
Hey, Jonathan, is there any proof to the what I've heard in regards to the fact that they don't really have any true measurement of groundwater being pulled out, that it's estimated?
That is correct, especially for the subsidence. There is no data really on subsidence in Montgomery County, and the last subsidence studies, I was told, were done like in the 80s.
So basically they're billing us on an estimate instead of a true measurement.
Yes. Yes.
So you've taken care of that.
I hope to. And there's a group of us running that are endorsed by what's called Restore Affordable Water, Citizens to Restore Affordable Water, short name RAW.
Right.
There's seven candidates. There's a candidate that is running for a countywide position, so the people in Precinct 4 will be able to vote for him. His name is Harry Hardman. And I'd appreciate your vote for him as well as for me.
You got it, bro.
All right, thank you guys.
Who's next? We got one more, right?
Are you gonna talk?
Oh, 2 more. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, Lance. I'm sorry. Look at her. She didn't care. Look at her. She don't touch you, girl. She down. I feel like ain't nothing.
Hi, my name is Melissa Miller, and I'm the Republican candidate for district clerk. I won't take much of your time because now everybody wants to get in there and enjoy some good barbecue. That's why we're all here to prepare. I am the Republican nominee for district clerk. I have 20 years of experience as a deputy clerk for the county. I started in the district clerk's office in 1998. I am old enough to be running for office, so don't worry about that. I started at the bottom and worked my way up. I took every opportunity I had to learn as much as I could about the district clerk's office. and I'm now ready to take on the leadership role for that office. I would appreciate your vote and your support for the November 6th election. Early voting starts October 22nd. So please vote for me. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay there, brother. I got you. Don't worry about it.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Alright, good. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for holding this. It's great. My name is Jace Littleberg. I'm an Iraq War veteran. I'm a graduate of the United States Naval Academy. I served as a submarine warfare officer in the Navy. I hold a master's degree in engineering management. I'm a certified project management professional, and I've worked the last 11 years of my life as a project manager in the oil and gas industry. And I'm running for county judge in Montgomery County. And I can tell you why I'm running for county judge in Montgomery County, because all of you deserve a budget and a strategic plan that reflect the priorities we should have in our county. Public safety, flood mitigation, mobility, and infrastructure. Our county has been growing at an amazing rate for the last 15 years, and it's not going to stop. We're just under 600,000 people in our county right now. We're projected to be at 1 million in 12 years.
Damn.
We're projected to be at 2.2 million in 32 years. And we are so far behind the power curve with the population growth we have that we need to start catching up. And what I want to bring is my experience as a leader in the military and my experience as a project manager. Best background to have, by the way, to be either a commissioner or the county judge, is to be a project manager. Because that's what you do every day, is manage projects. So I want to bring that experience because, number one, I live in East County. I live right down the street. And East County is the fastest growing part of Montgomery County. We see what happened with 99 going in. We see what happens with Valley Ranch. So things are kind of changing. And we need to make sure we keep up with it, because the mobility is going to get much worse if we don't do something about it. Public safety is not going to be where it is if we don't plan ahead to make sure that the sheriff's office and the constables have the right resources and funding so that they can protect our neighborhoods. And when it comes to flood mitigation, I want to tell you, East County, starting back in the early 90s and even before, every flooding event that has occurred in Montgomery County, East County has the highest number of flooded, destroyed, or damaged homes. And do you think we get the attention we deserve in East County? We do not. Which is why we need to have more representation on the Commissioner's Court that can represent the people of East County and follow what the data says. Because the data says we deserve the attention, we need to get the attention. And so no longer will we be neglected living in East County if I get elected as a county judge. So again, early voting starts October 22nd. Election day is November 6th. I'm asking for your support and your vote. Let's make some changes in Montgomery County. Yeah, one more. Sure.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Is this it? Now, someone go ahead and catch me.
Oh. Oh, they hold that?
Yeah, oh, it's Alan. We're here for another 45 minutes.
Oh, no, yeah.
Hey, I want to thank all y'all for coming out with us today. We definitely couldn't have done it without y'all, man. I mean, especially coming out, because of the weather. I know we come out and meet us, and especially the bikers. We didn't care. We were riding anyhow. But I ain't saying some of y'all didn't because we were riding. Okay? No harm to us. But anyhow, I appreciate everybody, especially the fire department, for coming out with us, as well as the law enforcement, and especially the street beats. I couldn't do it without them boys as well. And hey, I appreciate everything y'all did for the lady last night with the cancer deal that was there. Y'all was awesome, man. I seen that, man. Y'all done really, really good. Other than that, guys, let's go eat some work.
Now here's your candy.
Oh, you're gonna put her now.